I'm now going to discuss this if statement right here. So we saw this at the bottom of the craps.py file. It is confusing and you'll see it in a lot of Python modules. So it's important to understand what it means. So let's just go ahead and read it. So if underscore underscore name underscore underscore, this is a variable name. And instead of saying underscore so many times, I'm going to use the dunder abbreviation. So that's like Python slang for double underscore. So if dunder name is equal to the string dunder main, it's important to note that this is a string, not a variable name, then execute the code block over here. So this is a conditional. So the first thing I want to discuss is this dunder name variable. So Python automatically creates this variable for us whenever we are importing a module or when we're executing it from the command line. So anytime we import something, this module will have a dunder name variable. The same thing happens whenever we execute from the command line. Say we do python craps.py, there'll be a dunder name variable available as well. Okay, so when we import, let's just import craps. So here is it over here. We had it open. We're going to import craps.py. We're importing this module. And then we're going to access the dunder name variable with dot notation. So let's go ahead and see what this says. So it says it's equal to the string craps. So this is important. It has a value. It is the string craps. It will, whenever you import something, it'll always be just the name of that file. So that should make sense. Now, this is the same code that's in the craps.py file, but I've just copied it over here. So whenever you import a module, all of the code in the module is run. So when I'm over here, it starts at the top and runs every single line of code as if it were a normal program. Now, when it gets down to the very bottom, it is running this statement. And this conditional evaluates as false because name, the dunder name is craps, the string craps. Craps does not equal dunder main. Because it doesn't equal it, this evaluates as false, and this is never executed. So when we import this, these lines of code are not executed. Now I want to show you craps2.py. So this is the same exact file, except there is no if dunder name is equal to the string dunder main. Let's go over there and look at this. So here's craps2, and it's the same exact file, except at the bottom there is no if statement, if name is equal to the string dunder main. That doesn't exist. Okay, so if I import this, you'll see that it will execute these lines of code because that's what importing does. It just executes every single line in the file, and it'll just play a single round of craps, and it'll be the same one because we set the seed to 1. All right, so there's no if statement protecting that code over there. It just automatically runs. All right, so now why does this craps.py run from the command line? So let's open up craps.py again. So when I'm running this from the command line, something special happens. The name variable is no longer craps. The dunder name variable is not craps. It is dunder main. So it's considered like the main program, and that's what it gets set to when you are executing it from the command line. So let me just do it one more time. So when I run this, you'll see that this code does get executed because this dunder name is in fact equal to main here. Now, when we're importing, it is equal to the name of the file. So those are two different things, right? And the reason this ran, this name variable is also, it's craps2, the string, but there is no if statement. So let me open up craps2 again. There is no if statement over here. So therefore, it always runs. It doesn't matter if it's the main program or if you're importing, it's going to run regardless. Now, why do people have this? So it allows you to interact with your module in two different ways. So with craps.py, we can import it and then just call, we can access the craps class and the dice class through dot notation. So it gets us two different ways to do things. So we can just import it and use dot notation, or we can run it from the command line. And when we do that, it will run this code. So it gives us two different ways. And so this basically protects us from import. We don't want this code called during import. That's what it's saying. It's saying you can put code in here in this module. It will not be run during import, and vice versa. This code will be run during execution from the command line. So this is saying if I want to run from the command line, put my code in here, but do not run this code if I am importing. Okay, so hopefully that it helps explain this, and really, so that's the whole purpose. It gives you these two different ways to interact with the module. So you can import it and use it one way, or you can execute it from the command line and use it that way.